I love Team Fortress 2, but, and I feel like this is how every TF2 video starts, it does not get anything in terms of updates or dev attention. Almost 3 years, man. I feel like we're not angry enough about Valve's lack of dedication to TF2. Well, some people are angry enough, but that's a different story. You see, I'm here because the last time anything worth updating my custom HUD was released, it was Jungle Inferno, a content update themed around the literal Pyro, the worst class in TF2. I am not open to suggestions about that, okay? And remember, this is what you guys wanted. Me, I was team heavy. I still am team heavy. I voted for something that would have brought peace and prosperity to TF2. But you guys voted for Pyro, and why? What I always hear are reasons highlighted in this Uncle Dane video where he describes a problem with the Pyro's flame particles being visually disconnected from their hitbox and reliant on ping to decide what gets ignited. It also says that Pyro's role as a class isn't well defined and competitive. These are things deeply rooted in the category of mechanics, bug fixes, and general balancing, and you do not communicate your desire for that in a vote for a fucking content pack. Now, to be fair, this is an old video and we didn't know as much back then as we do now. And my sights are not on you, they're on you. And yes, I am in Gmod, because at the very least, where Gmod lacks in developer content, they make up for in the accessibility of community content, and by consequence, the abundance of community content too. In other words, the easier it is for you to access mods for Gmod, the more incentive there is for creators to make mods. What keeps me up at night about all this is that there's so much community content for TF2 as well. Mods and maps and modes and all the subcategories they contain. You can really find anything you can think of. And this is a video I've made already, but what I don't mention is that you can't actually use any of these in casual servers. Arguably the most populated way of playing TF2, where you play on official maps with settings that allow no mods beyond HUD changes and for some reason cheat clients. I don't know if there's a perfect balance between community content and official content, but what about, I don't know, a whole other client building off from the official one with community stuff like new weapons and modes and maps? I love Team Fortress 2 Classic, but what the hell is it? Imagine, if you will, a classic 2008 era build of TF2 restored and recharged with simple new features. Their blog basically covers all this, along with downloads and everything. But in my words, it's the good old days again. I didn't play TF2 during that time. It probably sucked in general compared to today, but no matter. When you walk into TF2 Casual with its overwhelmingly large map pool, shit community, bloated frame rates from too many hats, and more strategies than any one man can comprehend, well, you may find yourself living in a shotgun shack. TF2C, that's what I'm gonna call it, changes all that. The mechanical simplicity is restored to its purest form. Let me show you how, starting with the Civilian, who you may know from Valve's classic Meet the Sniper.
Boom. Headshot.
The funny little man of the hour, the Civilian, aka the VIP or the Hunted, finally returns to Team Fortress. Known for his involvement with old Team Fortress Classic modes, the Civilian plays a protected role. Everyone on the team needs to make sure he doesn't die, as he can only defend himself with an umbrella. The only mode made for him right now is VIP mode, where one team attacks with the Civilian, who is the only one capable of capturing objectives, and the other team tries to stop it. Every time he dies, the attacking side loses some time. He can shoot mini-crits right from his fingertips. Well, not actually. He can give other players a mini-crit boost, and being nearby him also gives you a defensive buff. I don't know what the defensive buff actually does. I guess only one mode seemed like a bit of a waste, so they also let you play as him in a free regular servers as a 10th class. Same abilities, but no death penalties, and you can have as many as you want. And oh boy, do people have as many as they want.
Oh my god.
RNMTTV on Twitch. Anyways, there's a few more things we need to go over with that clip. First thing, what the fuck? This guy's green. Is this colorblind mode? No, asshole. This is green team and yellow team. A new mode with 4 teams. Yeah, they did it. Want to catch around to 4 fort? How about you meet me at 4 bind? Or maybe the new domination mode, where teams compete in objective or elimination rounds and have to actually beat a team. I don't actually like that one. I know the game is Team Fortress, but nobody plays like that. When teams get smaller, the winner is painfully obvious, which I think that's why you can now play on servers of up to 64 people. Yep. What the hell was that? Oh, just my new soldier RPG. This new RPG shoots a single rocket that travels in an arc and has increased damage. It makes Soldier generally harder to play, but allows for positioning similar to the Demo Man's without treading over the demo's role. The engineer's coil gun can charge up a projectile shot that bounces off the walls and does extra damage. I used to think it was for finding invisible spies, but the projectile isn't really magnetized, and works better for flushing a soldier or demo out of a hiding spot without having to approach them with your shotgun. For if the situation arises, I guess. I did hit an invis spy though. Oh hey! Actually, that hit a spy who is invisible. The demo gets 2 new secondaries. First is the mine layer, pretty self-explanatory. You put down 3 mines that only activate when an enemy steps on them. It's very clearly more of a defensive item, and I think it's made to contrast with the dynamite pack, a bundle of dynamite that you throw which explodes into smaller sticks that then explode on their own. It's an immediate large area denial weapon and kind of reminds me of the gas can, but you know, actually interesting. The fishwhacker is kind of stupid. It's just this old weapon that the sniper used to have that they added in for fun, I guess. It makes anyone you hit bleed and crits against bleeding targets. But if you have it out, you're marked for death, and it swings slower than a normal machete, which nobody seems to want to swap from anyways. The tranquilizer confused me at first, but just by using it, the purpose became very clear. Everybody knows the toughest part of being a spy is closing the gap between the knife and a bat. This is made for that, and you have to sacrifice your revolver, which I think is a good trade-off. It slows down an enemy's walk speed, turning speed, and obscures their vision so they can't see team colors for a little bit, so try not to get hit by it. The shock therapy is a new melee for the medic. It charges up to punch health into teammates that can also do an insane amount of damage on a full charge, but it's all depleted whenever you swing. Boy, I love dealing with another meter. Of course, the hunting revolver. This is for the sniper, and it turns him into a whole new class. You can attack now. You can protect yourself from all sorts of classes, except for other snipers. You get more health, 6 shots before reload, whereas the old rifle was bolt action. You have to zoom in for headshots, and they do less damage, as does a normal shot. The rest you have to play to understand. I'm not joking when I say this is a new class, man. And the nail gun. I still don't get this one. It was in older builds of TF2C, which used to go for a kind of TF2 beta feel, and it just sucked. I don't know why you would ever pick this over the scattergun. It just doesn't work the same, and it doesn't help the scout at all. I guess the idea might have been so you could be like Tracer, but Tracer is just a bad burst. I don't know, maybe it's just me. There's some smaller things added in. There's a streamer mode, so you don't have to see anyone's name, profile picture, chat messages, sprays. Basically just play the game. Some cool new settings to check out too. New loading screens, new maps. In some regard, they overhauled a lot of things and did a fantastic job. Enough to make it as enjoyable as playing TF2 for the first time all over again. It may fall out of popularity soon, but whatever. Right now, this shit is a blast, and I implore you to go to their blog and check it out. It's free, tons of servers, tons of fun. If you're a TF2 fan, you need to be here, man. I have a strong sense that Valve's not going to be making a whole lot of new things for TF2 anymore. I've been losing hope ever since the first day of the Pyro update, really. It's a trip to think of how long ago that really was, and I never thought the TF2 community was capable of putting out something so identical to Valve quality work. If this is what's keeping TF2 alive from here on out, it's gonna be a party, man. I hope it stays around for a good long time. And I hope they remove the pyro. Good night, everybody.
Like you cut, G.